Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nikonsat. The Northern Elders Progressive Group has commended President Bola Tinubu's bold approach to tackling insecurity in the northern region, praising what it called his Fasan Yama strategy for yielding significant positive results. Chairman of the Arua Elders Progressive Group in the Northwest, Mustafa Ma, applauded Tinubu's decision to take the fight to the bandit hideouts, describing it as a major achievement in the quest for peace and security. The Northern Elders said President Tinubu's aggressive approach, which involves using military force to crush bandits without mercy, has shown promising results. The Association of Chairmen of Local Government Service Commissions in Nigeria has stressed the need to address security and contemporary challenges at the local government level. The association made the plea at its three-day annual national summit held in Abuja. Jumail Manson has more on the story. The report will come in the course of the bulletin. And still in the news, the Executive Secretary of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, Sonny Echono, has called on local government areas to make strategic investments in the tertiary education. Echono stated this after receiving an award of excellence at the three-day annual summit organized by the Association of Chairmen of Local Government Service Commissions in Nigeria. The Executive Secretary thanked President Bola Tinubu for restoring autonomy to local governments and reaffirmed that TETFund will continue to support tertiary education in Nigeria. President Bola Tinubu has joined the people and chief of Ile-Ife and the global Yoruba community in commemorating the 50th birthday of the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi, the Ojaja II. Tinubu conveyed his birthday message through a statement signed by his special advisor on media and publicity, Bayo Onanuga, noting that the Oni's extraordinary leadership and maturity since ascending the throne at 41. He emphasized his significant role in preserving the rich traditions of the Yoruba people in ancient city known as the Source. The House of Representatives has urged the federal government to increase the yearly budgetary allocation to the Bureau of Public Procurement to enable it effectively discharge its constitutional mandate. The resolution of the House was a sequel to the adoption of a motion at Thursday's plenary on the need to review the budgetary allocation of the Bureau of Public Procurement, moved by the member representing Okanafun Orok Anam Federal Constituency, Akwa Ibom Uyemi Idem, stressing the need for transparency, competitiveness, cost-effectiveness, and professionalism in the public sector procurement system. It then argued that the BPP requires adequate funding to fulfill its functions for the good of the country. A compressed natural gas-powered vehicle explosion in Benin, Edo State, has left 3 people severely injured, including a motorist who suffered eye injuries. The explosion was reportedly traced to a cylinder that had been fabricated by a welder without proper approval. The welder has reportedly turned himself in to the police. The incident occurred while vehicles were queuing to refill their cylinders at the station. The vehicle being attended to suddenly exploded. The presidency says the absence of President Bola Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima in the country does not create any leadership vacuum. Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, said the two leaders are fully engaged with the nation's affairs, even while they are away. And still in the news, the National Security Advisor Nuru Ribadu has knocked policemen and soldiers stealing arms and ammunition from their formation to criminal elements. Ribadu disclosed this in Abuja during the destruction of arms by the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons. The NSA said security agents involved in the act are worse human beings, adding that efforts must be put in place to check such elements. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetukun, says the police force will continue to uphold its former chief's legacies to enhance its operations. The police chief made this known at a strategic meeting with former Inspector General of Police in Abuja. Here is Kike Lomo Okere's report.
The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetukun, says the aim of the meeting is to facilitate a meaningful dialogue for the purpose of fortifying the foundation for effective policing in Nigeria. He pointed out that the current leadership of the force is building on the strong foundation laid by the former police chiefs to, among others, meet modern-day security demands.
All of you contributed immensely to the growth and development of the Nigerian police force. And I want to assure you that we are building on the foundations that you laid.
Speaking on behalf of the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Abubakar emphasized the need for experienced experts within the Nigerian police force to effectively address the current security challenges bedeviling the country. He reaffirmed their commitment to support the Nigerian police force in all capacity while offering collective experience and wisdom to help navigate the trying times.
The Inspector General of Police to rub minds on the issues of policy and security and strategy in this country. And we shall continue to do this because we are police and police is us, just like you are. You know the challenging situation in this country, and therefore the Inspector General of Police and all of you need experience, expertise, and the technical know-how to be able to discharge your responsibilities of protection of life and property.
The meeting underscores the importance of continuity and mentorship as past IGPs seize the opportunity to address and share their experiences with the members of the force management team and other senior officers.
The Association of Chairmen of Local Government Service Commissions in Nigeria has stressed the need to address security and contemporary challenges at the local government level. The association made the plea at its 3-day annual national summit held in Abuja. Jermaine Manson has more on the story.
His citation.
The theme of this year's summit is addressing security and other contemporary challenges at the local government areas in Nigeria. The summit brought together key stakeholders to deliberate on local level security issues and explore innovative solutions. Presented an award for effective service to the Executive Secretary of TETFund, Sonny Echonu. The chairman of the association, Senator Kaka Rijau, praised Echonu for his dedication and open-door leadership style, describing him as a leader loyal to nation building.
Most of the private secondary schools and universities you see projects is from the TETFund. Honestly, congratulations. We want to thank you, and I want to urge you to do more for what you have started doing. And I believe this award will go far, and also giving you the strength so that you can perform better.
The Executive Secretary of TETFund, Sonny Echonu, expressed gratitude to the association, emphasizing that TETFund's interventions cover not only federal and state institutions, but also include support for local governments. He further expressed his enthusiasm for the autonomy given to local government areas, urging them to contribute at the upcoming National Research Fair.
TETFund is there and ready to continue to provide needed support for the development of a tertiary education sector in our country. We are very confident that now that you will be in charge of your resources, we'll begin to see local governments also invest in tertiary education.
Stakeholders at the summit reiterated the importance of collaborative efforts in tackling the security challenges faced by local communities. For Global Television, Jumai Manson reporting.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has announced that the 2025 Anambra State governorship election will be held on Saturday, November 8, 2025. The Commission's chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, made the announcement during a consultative meeting with political parties in Abuja. Yakubu noted that the formal notice for the election will be published on November 13, 2024, in line with the requirements of the Electoral Act 2022, which mandates that the notice for any election be issued no later than 360 days before the election date. A rift is believed to have emerged within the Kwankwasia political movement as a faction advocates for the political independence of Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf from his mentor, Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso. The group, allegedly sponsored by the secretary to the Kano State government, Abdullahi Bichi, argues that significant development in Kano State requires the governor to free himself from the Kwankwaso's influence. Kwankwaso, the leader of the Kwankwasia movement, a political base he leads, has been accused of exerting undue influence over the governor's administration, with critics describing it as a symbolic third term by proxy. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, says no fewer than 10,852 suspects were arrested between July and October 2024. He disclosed this during a strategic meeting with commissioners of police and other senior officers in Abuja. Kikelomo Okere completes the report.
The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, says the statistics indicate a substantial decrease in crime rate in the key areas, including significant strides in combating violent crimes such as banditry, kidnapping, armed robbery, and cybercrime. He noted that from July to October this year, the Nigerian police force has rescued 369 kidnapped victims, recovered 416 firearms of various makes, retrieved 178 vehicles, and seized 3,672 rounds of ammunition of different caliber.
Foster a safe and secure environment for all Nigerians, thereby reinforcing the trust that is fundamental to our effectiveness. We must build on the progress we have made in addressing security concerns across our nation. Over the past few months, the force has significantly enhanced the safety and security of the country.
Speaking on the forthcoming off-cycle election in Ondo State, the police chief urged the senior officers to replicate and build upon the successes recorded in Edo State election. He further stated that patrols will be increased and other measures will be put in place to ensure the security of lives and properties throughout Ember Month.
In the country's internal security framework is vital. We must lead by example. With the upcoming off-cycle gubernatorial election in Ondo State, the local government council elections nationwide, and the challenges of the current Ember months, our vigilance and commitment to enhance security are paramount. Together, let's strive to foster a safe and secure environment for all Nigerians.
As the festive season approached, the Inspector General of Police further urged the senior officers to intensify efforts to secure all areas, particularly urban and semi-urban centers, major highways, as well as to collaborate effectively with other security agencies and stakeholders to bolster security nationwide. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
The federal government has taken delivery of 1 million doses of the R21 Matrix M malaria vaccine donated by Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance. The World Health Organization, WHO, had in December 2023 added R21 Matrix M malaria vaccine to its list of pre-qualified vaccines. The Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Muyi Aino, said the arrival of the malaria vaccine from Gavi is a testament to President Bola Tinubu's commitment to protecting the lives of Nigerians. The Comptroller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, says the service has intercepted 20 container loads of sophisticated arms and ammunition worth about 10 billion naira since 2018. The CGC described the scale and sophistication of the illegal activities of the criminal gangs behind the importation as alarming. Adeniyi, while addressing the media on the achievement of the Federal Operation Unit Zone A of the service, disclosed that since 2018, Customs have intercepted 20 significant shipments of illicit arms comprising of 10,498 pieces of various arms and 114,929 pieces of ammunition, with an estimated duty paid value of 9.58 billion naira. Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Abubakar, says the Nigerian Air Force will take delivery of 50 brand new aircraft between December this year and 2026. Air Marshal Abubakar said these are the second biannual meeting with branch chiefs and air officers commanding in Abuja, where he stated that the Nigerian Air Force had successfully inducted 12 aircraft into its inventory over the past year. He noted that it was a remarkable achievement that the Nigerian Air Force had not witnessed in a very long time. You're watching the Midday News on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When Midday News returns, Flying Eagles rounding off preparations in Lome for their participation in the 2024 WAFU Zone B Under-20 Championship. Details of these and more shortly. Please stay with us.
Are you experienced in marketing for a television channel? Then this is your chance to join a fast-moving television station based in Abuja with presence on DSTV. If you're interested in working with us, send your CV to hr@globaltvabuja.com. For inquiries, 091-6044-2536. Application closes on Friday, 25th October 2024. Signed, Announcer.
Welcome back from the break. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcasts of Midday News. Thank you for staying with us. In business, the House of Representatives has appealed to the federal government to urgently transmit the medium-term expenditure framework to the National Assembly to avail lawmakers ample time to work on the 2025 appropriation bill. This is as lawmakers drawn across party affiliations express displeasure at the practice of delayed presentation of annual budget proposals to the Parliament, leaving the lawmakers with little time to do a good job. The resolution of the House followed the adoption of a motion of urgent public importance moved by Clement Jimbo. President of the World Bank, Aja Abanga, has unveiled a new simplified corporate scorecard to measure its progress ahead of the gathering of global financial leaders in Washington next week. The bank's new yardstick of accountability has reduced the number of indicators from around 150 to just 22. Banga told reporters, adding that the simplified set of indicators should make it easier to evaluate progress. Ahead of the World Bank and International Monetary Fund's semi-annual gathering of senior financial policy makers in Washington next week, Banga also took stock of the reforms the development lender has made to become bigger and better since he took office in June last year. On the foreign scene, as the conflict in Gaza entered its 377th day, the humanitarian crisis continues to escalate. Over 42,000 Palestinians have been killed and nearly 100,000 injured, with women and children making up the majority of victims. Despite the alarming figures, the U.S. Special Envoy to Middle East humanitarian issues, Liz Grande, in a briefing says the U.S. would not halt arms supply to Israel. Meanwhile, the UN has reported horrifying scenes, including patients burned alive near the Al-Qasr hospital, while in the West Bank, over 11,000 Palestinians have been detained, including women, children, and journalists. Medical professionals working in Gaza have described the situation as catastrophic, with patients suffering due to lack of medicine, clean water, and proper care. The International Committee continues to demand action as Israel refuses to cooperate with United Nations inquiries into the ongoing crisis. The Israel Defense Forces have confirmed that they have hit Nabatieh in southern Lebanon. 5 people were killed by airstrikes, including the city mayor. The targets include terrorist infrastructure sites, Hezbollah command centers, and weapons storage facilities, which were embedded by Hezbollah adjacent to civilian infrastructure, exploiting the civilian population as human shield. Children as young as 10 will soon be able to be jailed once again in Australia's Northern Territory after the government there lowered the age of criminal responsibility. Australian states and territories have been under pressure to raise the age of criminal responsibility from 10 to 14, in line with other developed countries and UN advice. And jumping into the exciting world of sport, Kylian Mbappe, reportedly linked to a rape investigation in Sweden, will reserve any explanations for the Swedish justice system if necessary, his lawyer stated. The lawyer strongly condemned media allegations suggesting that Kylian Mbappe had commented on the event on his trip to Stockholm. The France and Real Madrid striker had consensual sex with a young woman during the trip last week. The newly elected president of the African Table Tennis Federation, Wahid Oshodi, has expressed his intention to elevate the game of table tennis on the continent. Oshodi, who was unanimously elected as the 6th president of the continental sports body to succeed Egypt's Khalid El Sali, called on private sector to support table tennis similar to other sports. That's it on Midday News, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We are on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276, and free to air on Nikonsat. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Anthony Momodu saying thank you for watching.